Hello there, and welcome back to my little bit of Mexico. Excuse the overgrown chin. I didn't have classes today, so I didn't bother shaving. Now, you know how it is at times with your YouTube video feeds. Things just kind of pop up on your page, and really, I seem to at times get slightly eclectic mix of certain videos. But one that popped up, actually there were about 5 or more that popped up, were related to some new rule or law, I'm not sure, rule or law, that the Consumer Protection group here in Mexico, Profeco, just announced this week. It seems that from now on you will not be allowed to buy tortillas in your local abarrote or wherever in the Hieleras. The Hielera generally means cool box, but it's an insulated box, generally the ones you take on a picnic or the ones made of polystyrene to keep tortillas warm. And no, you won't be able to buy your tortillas from those anymore. And they're the ones that the local tortilleria drops off in the various abarrotes in the district. Selling tortillas from these boxes or having them delivered on the back of a motorbike, and you see many of these whizzing around your local neighborhood, could mean that the place sending them and even the stores selling them could receive a fine of up to 4 million pesos. What? Why, for heaven's sake? To say the least, I was rather annoyed when I saw these videos, thinking about, well, how do people buy tortillas now? And really, it does take me quite some time to get to the state of annoyance. Yes, annoyed. Being British, I'm generally just in a mildly miffed state about certain things. Apparently, the reason that Profeco give, or is it an excuse? I don't know, is that it's all about sanitary and health concerns. Having tortillas being delivered in hieleras means that there could be some pathogens, I guess, building up due to the moisture. But as far as I know, I don't think anybody here in Mexico has ever been sick from buying tortillas from Hielera, which has been delivered by motorbike. Can any of you remember when somebody was sick from tortillas? I can't. And I certainly haven't been when I've bought tortillas from the Hielera in my local store. Profeco's other reason for this measure is to protect us consumers, to ensure that we get a full kilo of tortillas. And as most of the tortillas come from the tortilleria, you always get the full kilo or half kilo if you're only buying a smaller amount. But they say it's down to maybe some unscrupulous people giving you 1 or 2 tortillas less for your money. But maybe that could happen, but I don't think it really happens. I think Profeco are just making things up, just to screw our lives up in general. For me, this ruling will be bad for this small tortilleria. And these rely on supplying the local abarrote with their lovely tortillas. Because not every housewife in neighborhoods can go to the tortilleria like my grandmother would do to get the morning bridies from the baker in Drury in Aberdeenshire. Not every housewife has this ability, and they rely more on going to the corner store a short walk away and buying the tortillas, which are nice and warm at 7, 8 in the morning to prepare the morning breakfast and the day's meals. And this is what the housewife here relies on, whether the housewife is in Chiapas, in Oaxaca, Tamaulipas, Baja, or here in Nuevo Leon. What I'm thinking about is, what will Profeco do at a taco stand? And many taco stands have hieleras with the tortillas that they are going to be using for their tacos. What do they do? It's going to be something untenable. They just cannot do it. It's going to be an impossible thing to do. How can you say where somebody got their tortillas from, when? I don't know. It's I am rather annoyed with this ruling. It's because it just makes no logical sense. The whole idea. I don't know where it came from. Here's a scenario. Just take Soriana and many of the other supermarkets that produce their own tortillas. And I like going to Soriana and actually watching the process. I mean, they have hieleras full of the freshly made tortillas that have just come off of their little tortilleria. And so they put their tortillas in their hieleras for the customers to come by, pick up a kilo or two or so of tortillas as part of the weekly shopping. What would Profeco do there? I mean, where have the tortillas come from? About 5 meters away. It's ludicrous, isn't it? The whole ruling is just ludicrous, in my opinion, and probably the opinion of many other Mexicans. Have Profeco forgotten about Mexican life and how people here buy things? I think there are going to be many an unhappy Mexican housewife who will not like Profeco anymore. I'm sure there will be some demonstrations relating to this. I don't know. It could just happen. And hopefully they will realize that they made a stupid mistake with this ruling. If anything, any demonstration against this ruling will probably happen in DF. Here in Monterey, people don't really demonstrate too much. We leave it up to our compatriots, our compadres in the south. Monterey should really demonstrate a little bit more, especially against this. I mean, it's such a stupid law. And just why? What does it actually accomplish? And I can see this rule going away down to probably some incompetent person who wrote the rule. And I really do hope it gets laughed out or thrown away. Rather than bugger up Mexican life, maybe Profeco should look at more important things that affect the Mexican consumer. And they should turn their attentions to that rather than the tortilla and the way that we buy things. Maybe one thing they should do is turn their attentions to the Mexican brewer so that they can compete rather more fairly than they can at the moment. After having seen the news of this and the various videos that people have made in different parts of Mexico, I was rather happy when I was in the local butcher getting my stuff this afternoon as part of my non-supermarket challenge, which is still ongoing. I noticed that by the checkout, by the counter, there were 4 Hieleras sitting there full of tortillas. So obviously my butcher is either putting a finger up to Profeco, or the rule hasn't got here to Nuevo Leon as yet. And I hope it doesn't. I hope it gets killed off. We don't want this in our lives. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. New shirt today, nice bright red. Thank you all, as I say, and see you all very soon. Bye for now.